Bumblebee folks, I'm Alexa, resident emo girly, and today we're diving into what I think might be the hardest topic I've ever been assigned by the powers that be. Question for you, what's something you know you're addicted to? Like, I'm guilty of having a sugar addiction and a little bit of a TV addiction and social media, but like that's pretty common for somebody with ADHD. But let me know yours in the comments. Also, before we get into things today, a little sidebar disclaimer. Well, there might be weirder addictions out there. As a freak show performer, these are 10 that I consider weird, and also ones that didn't physically make me throw up trying to read about them. I have a bit of a weird gag reflex. Alright, are we crystal clear? Well then, welcome to the top 10 most bizarre addictions in history. Number 10, self-love to the extreme. Christian VII of Denmark's obsession with his own member worried his doctors and was just one reason why he wasn't allowed to wield any real power. So King Christian is a regular feature on many lists of history's maddest monarchs, and with good reason. According to his biographers, the future king showed an unhealthy obsession with self-love from an early age. His guardians and doctors were troubled, especially as he got older, and when he was crowned King of Denmark in January of 1766, the head physician to the court explicitly warned Christian that if he didn't curb his self-loving obsession, he risked not being able to father offspring. Now, when Christian was married to his cousin Caroline Mathilda, he showed no interest in his young wife. Indeed, he remarked that it was unfashionable to love one's wife. Instead, he carried on pleasuring himself and frequenting the brothels of Copenhagen. By 1772, the rest of the royals had had enough. His half-brother was then appointed regent of Denmark, with Christian's own son taken over 2 years later. But unlike his father, the new regent showed no obsession with his own member, nor did he inherit his old man's habit of slapping visiting dignitaries around the face or leapfrogging over bowing courtiers. You know, as you were. Number 9, objectum sexual. So a lot of these are going to come from My Strange Addiction, and this one I believe is from season 6, where a woman named Linda claimed to be happily married for 3 years to a carnival ride called the Skydiver, which she named Bruce. Now, the 56-year-old from Tampa, because, you know, Florida people, said that she learned about the ride in 1981, and after the ride broke down, she spent over $90,000 to get the ride that she named Bruce up and running again. So she identifies as objectum sexual, meaning that she loves objects. Linda shared that she had previous relationships with an airplane and a locomotive. According to Linda, you actually get to feel the experience of what Bruce does and what a skydiver really is. And there's no other ride that duplicates the sensation of a skydiver. Alright, to each their own. Linda says she enjoys candlelit dinners with Bruce and lovingly compares the relationship to an old married couple. Look, as somebody who's worked in the theme park industry and has many a conversation with ride enthusiasts, this one doesn't super surprise me and more makes me just roll my eyes. I have a feeling I'm going to say this a lot today, but since this addiction isn't harming anyone other than Linda's bank account, to each their own here. Not my cup of tea, but to each their own. Number 8, coffee enemas. Yeah, this is something people could do and become addicted to. This can stem from a caffeine addiction, as taking it in through your rear end allows it to be absorbed into your body more quickly, which is also why some people stick, other things up there. But that usually causes death, if you catch my drift. Or, it could just be because people like having enemas, apparently. Once again, to each their own. This Florida couple, I'm sorry, stereotypes are stereotypes. Mike and Trina, who made their addiction known nationwide in 2013, spent up to 5 hours a day with their addiction and don't even drink coffee. Trina apparently had various gastrointestinal health issues and claims that coffee enemas are what helped her, but she hasn't been to a doctor since. This couple refuses to drink the caffeinated beverage, which they say is apparently bad for their health. But apparently an enema is better for them. They each have at least 100 coffee enemas a month, which they apparently think, hey, better for my health. They admit they perform their caffeinated transfusion at least 4 times a day, and once Trina said she did 9 or 10 in a 24-hour period. Oh, how do they do this, you ask? So the couple heats up the coffee on the stove and injects the liquid into their colons to clean out their lower intestines. I'm not a big coffee person as it is, so I don't really have an opinion here, other than don't do this at home. Number 7, plaster casts. Alright, so Kevin, who resides in Chicago this time, not a Florida person, has been addicted to the full body bandages for the past 21 years, and he's only 27, so that's a lot of years, and admits that his bizarre fixation on them has become ridiculous. I don't have any broken bones, but apparently he's addicted to putting orthopedic casts on his body. That's a direct quote. I'm perfectly fine, perfectly healthy. I like the feeling of the cast around me. I've done 2 full arm casts, 2 full leg casts, and I've also just done more casts, and it's so many that it's ridiculous. I guess it's good that he's self-aware, but I guess this just takes weighted blankets to an extreme. Now, Kevin has spent only $50,000 on the hobby, so nothing compared to, some other folks, and explains that his casts make him feel so snug and comfortable, while the act of putting them on gives him a physical rush. We got a direct quote, "It gives me this high that I just can't really get any other way. My system just really starts going and I get really nervous, it's just such a rush." Now, his bizarre obsession with casts began in early grade school. As you can imagine, 27 minus 21, you do the math here, folks. And around that age, he used to steal all of his parents' toilet paper and wrap his leg legs up in said toilet paper to mimic a cast. Now he was, I think I'd say that age. He was 12 when he wore his first real cast after breaking his arm in a rollerblading accident and became fascinated with the attention it brought him. According to him, he just loves the attention he gets. He uses crutches, he uses a scooter, he uses a wheelchair, whatever it takes. He enjoys being gawked at when he wears his cast in public. In fact, he brings one with him everywhere he goes. You never know where there's going to be a need to put one on, he says. I've seen some clips from the episode. He's been seen showing off one of his casts to impress women in a bar and admits that he sometimes pretends that he's really injured because he's like, oh, girls are constantly coming up to me being like, oh, what did you do, you poor thing. Okay, look, I'm not down with the manipulation of others. I don't mess with that, so ixnay there. But otherwise, as you were. Number 6, eating dryer sheets. Yep, still in the world of my strange addiction. Charmissa from Texas admitted to eating dryer sheets for 4 years. She talked about consuming up to 8 sheets a day, which if you do the math, that's around 3,000 every year. Apparently she was addicted to chewing them because she loved the clean, laundry scented taste. And it calmed her nerves, but the chemicals can cause cancer. So eventually our girl was worried about what she had done to her body, and rightfully so. Well, this isn't an addiction that makes me gag. The thought of the havoc wreaked on one's inside from this is wild. Don't do this. Leave the detergent in the closet, folks. Number 5, drinking urine. Yep. Carrie thinks that her urine obsession is gonna help in her fight against cancer. I've got a direct quote, I like warm pee, it's comforting. I did see some clips from the episode and they're very heavy on the close-ups of her drinking her favorite beverage. Apparently she's a connoisseur of sorts and she first gulped her own urine and didn't upchuck. Apparently sometimes it's salty, sometimes it tastes like plum champagne, and sometimes apparently it's lemony. She doesn't really eat asparagus anymore because it doesn't taste good recycled, which okay, I just don't really like asparagus. She also washes her eyes, sinuses, and teeth with her urine. She claims it tastes like water and she has no intention of stopping. Okay, we're moving on before I get queasy. Number 4, drinking nail polish. Yep, Bertha loves nail polish, but she's not addicted to getting manicures and pedicures. She likes to hit the bottle. Apparently she got her first craving to drink the colorful stuff when she couldn't resist the smell in the salon one time, and it's been 5 years of gulping the stuff. She's got different ways of enjoying it too. Sometimes she takes a sip, sometimes she takes and sometimes she just licks it from the little brush. What's next, a cocktail? Now, I did see a clip from this gal and watching it cover her teeth and tongue was just disgusting. As you can see, I'm struggling over here. I can only imagine what kind of damage it's doing to her poor health. And it's also very dangerous. And also, what a waste of nail polish. That stuff's expensive. Some of the addictions people develop are so strange, but this is just weird. Yeah, I can feel the gag reflex kicking in. Number 3, eating dirty diapers. Yep. Keisha, this 22-year-old from Queens, New York, is apparently addicted to hoarding, sniffing, and chewing on dirty diapers. She said the more urine in a diaper, the more she enjoys it. Yeah, apparently at the time of the episode airing, she was pregnant with her first offspring, so she got the diapers from her friend's twins. She would show up anytime during the day or night to get them. She could get them around the house to snack on throughout the day. Her addiction started 3 years prior when one of her friends asked her to, throw out a diaper, but she kept it instead. Apparently since she has collected over 25,000 dirty diapers, the equivalent of a lifetime supply for 6 babies. Look, I've tried to keep my judgment out of a lot of these, but this one's testing me, so we're just gonna move on. Number 2, having coitus with a car. An Arkansas man known only as Nathaniel for privacy reasons has revved into a lot of headlines because apparently he has coitus with his 1998 Chevy Monte Carlo. The Randy motorist, age 37, revealed he was in a sexual relationship with his racy red automobile back in 2012 when, he was on My Strange Addiction, just like everybody else today. But there's some fun YouTube clips of his bizarre autoerotica that are kind of going viral. Apparently he likes to lean over his fender and across his hood and kind of press up against the vehicle. That's apparently how he has intercourse, which he has gendered as male, the vehicle that is, and affectionately named Chase. Apparently one of the more bold positions is for Nathaniel to be underneath Chase, and he's describing this act as special. Now this driver additionally revealed that he frequently self-loves while standing next to the vehicle. Yes, kind of similar to what I said earlier, Nathaniel suffers from objectophilia, where individuals, develop strong sexual or romantic feelings for a specific inanimate object. Now also, sidebar, there was another gal who went viral recently, Sarah, because apparently she's sexually attracted to her toy Boeing 737 and was making plans to marry the model airplane. But back to Nathaniel, apparently he bought his beloved Chevy at a resale lot in 2007 and instantly felt a sexual attraction. Footage from the program shows the sales technician affectionately kissing and caressing the hood of the car and saying, "I love you, baby." Now, Nathaniel also revealed he likes being inside of Chase and was seen stroking the vehicle's steering wheel as he sat in the driver's seat. I don't know why I feel the way I do, but I just know I absolutely love Chase. Now, apparently Nathaniel's interest in cars began when he was a teenager, but he didn't think much of it initially. He tried dating several women, but had never really been in love until he laid eyes on Chase. Nathaniel spent 5 years secretly, having coitus with the vehicle, saying he was scared of judgment, which, that's fair. I'm not judging you, pal. Just do it safely. To each their own. Number 1. Eating ashes. Okay, we all agree eating a dead person is beyond strange, right? So apparently for Cassie, that's part of her daily routine. She carries her husband's ashes and eats a portion at like every opportunity. She doesn't leave them anywhere. She takes them with her to the grocery store, to restaurants, to the mall. She talks to him, she cooks him his favorite meals, and they watch his favorite shows together. She believes these are acts of love and doesn't see anything wrong with them, which like those things I don't mind, you know, you gotta cope. They were married after dating for 10 months, but her husband sadly passed after a severe asthma attack. And her addiction started when some ashes spilled on her fingers, and because she didn't have a cloth to wipe them with, decided to, you know, Cheeto dust. Little did she know that this would mark the beginning of, well, as you were. Personally, I would classify this as disrespectful to the dead, but I'm not an expert in that category. And that brings us to the end of our time, and I think it's time for me to go, up Chuck. If you were entertained by my ramblings today, could you help us out by giving this video a like, subscribe if you aren't already, hit the bell for more, and I'll see y'all next time I buzz in over here at Bumblebee.